goodness sake, tell us what's coming up this week.
We've got a random episode of a random Gerry Anderson show, or feature film, or episode.
The second part of my interview with David Mather from Corgi.
And the Podsterons have been writing in their droves, and we'll be reading the things they've said.
The Gerry Anderson Podcast with Jamie Anderson and Richard James.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this week's Gerry Anderson Podcast.
Jenny Anderson Podcast. Who's
Gerry. I flapped my R. Gerry.
Oh, Gerry.
Gerry Anderson.
Yes, I thought it was the Jenny Anderson Podcast. That's the only reason I've come.
I was being terribly old-fashioned for
Oh,
a
yes.
moment.
Yes,
I could tell.
Greetings, listeners, to this week's
right.
Gerry Anderson Podcast.
It is the Gerry Anderson Podcast.
Yeah, it's Gerry Anderson Podcast, yeah.
Pod 33 something.
9,
8, I think.
9.
Can't remember.
That's what it says on
Anyway,
the script, 339.
it's, you may have noticed over the last couple of weeks, our snowy Christmassy opening titles.
Yay!
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes. Can only mean one thing. Terry Adlam will soon be upon us. Yeah, that's right. Adlam will soon be here for a Terry Christmas.
Terry Christmas,
That's joining us
everyone.
next week, I hope.
Oh,
Yes.
that'd be nice.
Be fun, won't it?
Yeah.
So we're looking, Podsterons, for you to send us your art, please, in physical format to the Moxie Slough, 5 William Street, SL1, 1GZ. Send us your cartoon of Terry Adlam in your favourite Anderson scene with some kind of pun underneath, kind of related to
Yes.
it, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see how you do with that. And then we can show Terry in the flesh.
Yeah. You can comment on it.
But you haven't got very long.
In fact, the date may already have passed.
In fact, I think it has.
But try anyway.
Because we're recording this on the...
We can always review later
This goes
on.
out on the 8th. No, 10th. You've got 2 days.
2 days.
You've got 2
Right.
days.
Do it today, get it in the post by tomorrow. We should have it in time.
Drop it in
Joe.
his- person.
Recorded delivery.
Yeah.
Good. Drop it in person. No, don't do that.
Okay.
On our YouTube channel, we have a few comments. I'm going to read out the first one here from Les Paul Davis. This is underneath Pod 333, in which we watched Attack of the Alligators, which I awarded 3 out of 5,
Yes,
if you
you
remember.
did.
I could be wrong, but I believe this episode is the only example of deploying Thunderbird 4 by leaving the pod on the ground whilst taking off around it, rather than dropping it on the water.
Is it?
Perhaps Pod 6 isn't equipped with Pod 4's drop mechanism, or perhaps it's just a continuity error or directorial decision. The mind boggles.
Yeah. Although there is in Terror in New York City, Thunderbird 4 is deployed by driving off the end of Thunderbird 2's runway.
Okay.
Which isn't quite the same thing.
Yeah.
It is deployed from
But it
ground.
is another
Yeah.
non-aquatic
Yeah.
pod.
It is.
One there for you.
I've got one here
Christopher.
from Quilla Penn.
Oh, yes.
3? A measly 3?
I mean,
Shakes
What were
head.
you
Yeah.
thinking?
This is one of the most memorable episodes for integration of real live alligators, or whatever they were, and supermarionation. It gave my little brother, age 5 at the time, nightmares for a week.
Oh.
Though my adult self now wonders what Tintin really wanted to show Alan in the bathroom after her shopping trip was a positive pregnancy test.
Wow.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Gosh. Okay.
Hope
Yeah.
not.
I did award it a 3, but that just goes to show that we all like different things, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you love Dross,
Yes.
apparently, with your 4 for
Ross
Crossroads to
Dross,
Crime. Yeah, Ross Dross. Dross Roads to Crime.
Oh, yeah, I found that one there for you.
Scope F555.
Oh, yes.
1, Space 1999 Earthbound.
Oh, yes, yes.
I often wonder if an alien civilization discovered Commissioner Simmons' body, and if he was mummified, decomposed, or just an ugly corpse. We all wanted the same thing. It could be developed as a Space 1999 spin-off story. Could it really? I'm not sure about that. Either way, he spent a long time in that space capsule. A memorable ending to an episode, leaving viewers thinking, I'm glad that wasn't me.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I often think I wasn't glad I wasn't Commissioner Simmons.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, what a death.
Yeah, what does become of him? We just...
never know.
No,
Or
that's
he
right.
dies of starvation or yeah.
That would be an interesting
Similar.
little pickup point for another story, wouldn't it?
Would it?
Well, just a little short story, little freebie.
Yeah, maybe
You know.
for Space's 50th.
I see. I prefer to leave it as is, sort
Yeah.
of one of those questions that never gets resolved.
All right, well, if
Yeah.
I write it, you don't have to read it. Let's just say
That's
that.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
And I
like-
won't.
I think it's time for some really exciting Gerry Anderson news, don't
Yeah.
you? Come on.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree.
Let's hear it.
It's Gerry Anderson.
News. You're so slow on that, Chris.
Oh, I thought I do the end bit.
Oh, I see.
You do the beginning.
Oh, I like that.
With
That's
the
fair
bookends.
enough.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah,
Very
true.
good, yeah. And there's an idea for the Gerry Anderson Store.
Anderson bookends.
Yeah.
Character bookends.
Yeah. Well, I was actually thinking it with us, but...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Because people are buying all these books, these wonderful
Yeah,
books on
you
the
can
Anderson
have,
store.
like, Perils of Penelope or whatever with the up against the wall, up against the book thing. Yeah, with the,
Thunderbird 1 on the launch.
I mean, there's so many. Anyway, moving on. That's not
Moving
the
on.
news. This news it's all very publishing and bookie wookie.
Oh, good.
Well, Chris, you can start us off because the first one is about your book, which we occasionally mention and you never go on about.
We've been talking about this all year.
I read the book.
I know.
I read the book.
Yeah.
And if you've been enjoying this, you may now like to know that a audiobook version of it, read by podcast guest Mr. Wayne Forrester, is now available to download from bigfinish.com.
And the Gerry Anderson Store as
And
well.
the Gerry Anderson Store.
Great.
It is download only because it is quite long.
Yes.
So unfortunately, there's no CD
Chris
equivalent this
has
time.
got a habit of this. You give him a brief.
Very, very
Yeah.
long.
Say, do a thing this length.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he doubles the length.
A nice little documentary for the Space Precinct Blu-ray, please,
Yeah.
Chris. Maybe
60-minute dog will
yeah,
do.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. What's it do?
2 hours 10 at least.
Yeah.
A little novella for Stingray. No. Full
No,
scale.
tone.
Epic
We're going all in on this. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
Anyway, there you go. There's Chris's book news.
Do you think if you invited him round and just asked him to make you a slice of toast, he'd come up with a kind of full English with beans and sausage
At
and
least a
bacon?
club sandwich.
Use the whole
wouldn't
loaf.
he? Yeah.
Oh, I could love a club sandwich right now.
Stop it. Yeah.
Anyway, you also have got book news, Richard James, haven't you?
Oh, yes. Space Precinct.
Fight the
Future.
It's out now.
Is it?
It's available.
Oh, amazing. Just in time for Christmas.
Yeah, available paperback and Kindle form. You can get it
Great.
from the Gerry Anderson Store or from Amazon.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, good.
Just give us
Good,
a
good, good.
12-second little hint about what Fight the Future covers.
Fight the Future is an alternative reality setting. What happened if Patrick Brogan was never transferred to that other precinct? What would happen to him? What would happen to the people on Altor? How would they survive without DCPD and Patrick Brogan in charge? Is that enough?
That was
Or was
12.
that
You're over the top now. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
There you
Very
go.
good.
Looking forward to this.
Yeah, featuring, the lion's share really goes to, of course, Podley, who saves the day.
Of course,
he does.
good
yeah,
old
yeah,
Podley. Yes, that's a great way to celebrate Space Precinct's 30th, and of course you can still pre-order the Blu-ray set, and
Yeah.
I think the T-shirt might be around still, but let's
Wow.
see. It is limited edition.
You can have a precinct Christmas.
You can indeed. And finally,
Yeah.
we've been talking about the Space 1999 role-play game for a little while, and a few weeks ago, a month ago,
Yes.
Chris and I and Ross
Yes.
and a couple of special guests came in to play a game of the Space 1999 role-play game.
Yeah.
I'm a complete novice. Chris was pretty much a complete novice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a real bunch of mixed abilities, and we made a new Space 1999 story, and it was really fun.
Yes,
I mean,
it was
I
really,
was
really good fun.
genuinely surprised.
Wow. Yeah.
Because not every product that we create is something that I personally want.
Yeah.
Sometimes we try and do new things that appeal to different audiences, and
Yeah.
I kind of thought, well, this isn't really for me, but
Yeah.
other people might like it, and I really enjoyed it, and I want to do it again. You can watch the full playthrough on our YouTube channel now,
Right.
and find out why I tried to ride an inanimate object.
Find out, did we manage to save Moonbase Alpha? You have to watch the video to find out.
I mean, obviously, my thing is more exciting.
I want to hear more about the
Saving
inanimate
Moonbase
objects.
Alpha.
Yeah.
But it was great. You can pre-order the roleplay game, and if you do, you get a digital version of the quick start guide, so you can start playing before Christmas with delivery of the main rulebook in the new year. But it's great, and it's really fun. And if you've never played before, it doesn't matter. You can just start, because it's basically getting together in a group and creating a new Space 1999 story, but just with some rules and random chance that make it kind of exciting.
Love it.
It's a really fun thing to do.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I look forward to watching that.
So youtube.com/Gerry Anderson TV. And that brings us to the end of this week's Gerry Anderson News.
That was the newsy news. That was the newsy news.
Oh.
That was the newsy
Yeah?
news.
Ring any bells?
That was the newsy news. La, la,
No.
la, la.
No.
That was the newsy news.
It's
That
ring-
was the newsy.
Oh, I thought it comes to an end then.
I did too.
That was the
It's
newsy
ringing a bell, but I think we should go to
news.
David Mather,
Yes,
was the
actually.
news.
please, now,
For part
David.
two.
Save us.
Go!
Newsy news.
David Mallet, welcome back to Slough.
Well, thank you. Very good to be here again.
Yeah, now we're here at the Moxie Hotel. Did you get a chance to look around the reception
I
downstairs?
did. I sat down in the lobby before I gave you a ring to sort of say I was here, and I noticed the portraits on the wall. I need to go down and take a picture on my way out.
Yeah, take a good walk around. 'Cause there's a few puppets and all sorts hanging up and models and all sorts of things. Which just goes to show, we spoke about this last week, how much this stuff is kind of almost in our DNA now, isn't it?
I mean, it's also about the heritage of the site in some ways as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's very much the fact that it's embraced by a major hotel chain.
Yes.
Is fantastic.
Yes.
I love it.
And I guess that's something you're keen to tap into as well.
Yeah,
at Corgi, of course.
all the time. All the time. It's trying to find those things that really sort of lock into that thinking.
Now, are you able to explain to me, we've heard the names Matchbox, Corgi, Dinky, what's Airfix, we might know. What's the lineage and what's the relationship between all these brands?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're all actually sort of separate. Sort of, in effect, Dinky, Matchbox and Corgi were all in competition with each other.
Right.
Dinky came along first and sort of was basically the pioneer of sort of die-cast toys, like cars, in effect.
Yeah.
And Corgi came along and sort of said, we want a little piece of that. So in 1956, so it's nearly our 70th anniversary.
Wow.
And as I said, like I said last week, I'm thinking about 2026, 27.
Yes.
I'm thinking about a big anniversary.
Yes.
Just like we're thinking about a big anniversary of Thunderbirds.
That's right.
So it's you know, they sort of ended up in competition with each other. And then Matchbox came along and did the really small toy cars. And Corgi again thought, right, we want a bit of that. So in some ways, it was like a three-way battle going on. And sort of over the years, you know, you sort of had Dinky had Thunderbirds and the Gerry Anderson toys, so it was never a Corgi thing. Corgi had Bond, you know, and others like that, like the Avengers. Obviously not the Marvel ones. And so, you know, and on it went. And in the end, what happened? All three companies ended up being bought by Mattel. Eventually, and they sort of Dinky now sits fallow. Matchbox sits alongside Hot Wheels, and sort of Corgi became independent again before becoming in 2008 under the ownership of Hornby Hobbies Limited.
I see.
Which is where sort of we sit under a roof in Margate with Hornby trains, scale electric slot cars, Airfix model kits, and Corgi diecast and Humbrol paints.
I see.
And Airfix and Humbrol used to be up. Further up north as well, I forget exactly where. But they sort of came down at the same time. They were both bought at the same time as Corgi as well. And so all these sort of like heritage hobby brands of slightly different types all sort of coexist literally desks away from each other.
Amazing.
In one building.
Right, okay.
And we've got a fabulous visitor centre down in Margate as well, which sort of has stuff on display. There is like a Gerry Anderson cabinet in there.
In Margate, you say?
In Margate,
okay.
Yes. Down at the Wonderworks, as it's called. Yeah, that's our visitors' attraction down there.
Great. Do we have to book?
You don't. No, you can just turn up. I mean, just last week, it's just been half term when we're recording now, but it's sort of just last week we had a Aardman event, so we had a model maker from Aardman Animations come down and do plasticine modelling for the kids.
I see,
but I mean, sort of that's a booking of thing, but usually you just rock up and you can come in. All the brands are under one roof. We have like a rotating sort of display of some displays, so there's a vehicle which is in the front in the building, imminently having, by the time we are talking.
Yes.
There will be Richard Hammond's Ford Escort Mark II RS2000 in the entrance, for example.
Right.
That he's loaned to us until February. It's literally just going out. Will be a Porsche, and then we're sort of thinking about what's to come in after that.
Extraordinary.
And then we have other things like we've just had like the Land Rover from Shaun the Sheep in there, which isn't a full size Land Rover. It's literally only sort of like 24 inches or something to fit some plasticine figures in.
Brilliant.
But so. Everything sort of sits there, and you know, Dinky is sort of. I feel it's a bit missed in some ways.
That's right. But what sort of gap would that fill then? What do you think is missing because Dinky's no longer?
Well, I mean, sort of the licenses have obviously spread out. I mean, Corgi has Thunderbirds now, whereas Dinky always had it. So it's one of those where I can sort of understand why it sits a bit low without anything, but they still had some models which are famous. Which off the top of my head, you know, other than the Thunderbirds, is what I would always focus on. I can't remember, but you know, it's very much one of those where you know you feel like there could be a place for it again in some ways.
So now, last time you were with us, you very kindly revealed this fantastic new
your
Thunderbird.
exclusive reveal.
Absolutely. Which I think you said will be up for pre-order in January.
Early January,
year.
yeah.
Alongside
Fab 1 and a double pack of Thunderbird 1 and Thunderbird 3 as well. So all of them are sort of with this sort of redone, more accurate finish on the models, so they look more like the shooting models. Thunderbird 2 in particular, I should have said last week, is actually, we've based that one off the launch sequence. Because, of course, the fun and games that you have with Anderson models is the fact that there's a very relative lack of consistency, even between shots in sort of certain sequences. So
which
very
one
much,
do you choose?
Which one do we do? So we sort of decided in all of these that we'll go for the version where they're launching.
Yes, I see. Yeah,
so that's
that
what
works,
we've done with Thunderbird 2 there. So there's certain things like, the black ring around the engines, that's too thick on that model, but we will revise it. The yellow bit on the engines as well, coming off. But, it's ultimately to get it in that sort of spirit of when you saw that launch for the first time.
So these are steps along the way to the finished article then. So you must get, 2 or 3, 4 or 5 of these kind of
depends
stages?
how wrong it is.
Yeah, I see, yeah.
It depends what the licensor says. I want another one, please. We should say, okay, we better order another. That one's not bad, in all honesty. That one's really, really good. It's very much in the spirit of the final product with literally a very small list of changes, which I've done over the past couple of days, actually. And so that will be revised and is very close to the final product, in effect.
Well, we'll talk about some new things coming up shortly, but it's time to look at another clip for this week, and this is your favourite Anderson moment, I think. So let's have a look at this.
Get me.
It's working. It's working.
So good. You loved your Jeopardy, didn't you?
Oh, my word. Well, obviously, that's not quite as traumatic, obviously.
Yeah, as the crash of Thunderbird 2
no,
from last
that's
week.
it.
Yeah.
But, it obviously very much tied into, I was ripe for Jurassic Park.
Yes.
And so that was very much sort of obviously already tinkering with what was to come with that. But, it's very much... definitely my favourite episode as well.
Yeah, really.
I absolutely love it.
Attack of the Alligators,
It's one of those where, you sort of have that inventiveness. And again, as we said last week, the tangibility of something.
Yeah.
The fact that you have that odd sort of crossover between a puppet and a real live animal, which could potentially be quite dangerous if it wasn't a baby. It's fine. But,
I think they still had a few problems.
A bit of a nip on them.
Yeah, that's right, looking at that clip with the hover bike, jet bike thing, is a vehicle like that ever on the cards for someone like Corgi?
Maybe.
Or is it just too niche? Are there some things that are just too...
You'd probably have to do a figure with it.
Yeah, right.
Is what we'd say, which is, I don't think we need to worry about license rights with that, which as we do with certain people. But, absolutely. It could go on the list. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Sort of, as we sort of say, pod vehicles are one of the things I really want to do at some point.
Because then they become part of a set, don't they? That's the thing.
Yeah, no, they absolutely do. So, one of the things which I considered with Thunderbird 2 was having all the pods and then having little teeny tiny ones to go with it would be quite expensive. Yeah. So it might be something we come to maybe, who knows, for the 70th.
Yeah.
Maybe sooner.
70th, wow.
But fantastic idea. But it's anything like that can go on a list.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
Now, with things like Stingray, we've got the limited edition Stingray here from Corgi, still in its box.
Still in its box.
Are you in conversations with, ITV and with Jamie as well? Because I know it's the 60th anniversary and Anderson Entertainment have been putting out all the stocks with new stories and novels and audio dramas for Stingray. Are you then, do you have your feelers out for these big anniversary moments? Yeah. And who came to you first about...
It's across the board. So we sort of found that Stingray was on the plan and had never been done by Corgi. So it's like, right, we'll reheat that and get that going straight away.
Do you know when that started? When was it?
That would have been
first?
2022 when I started.
I
I mean,
see.
so literally you're going through the paperwork and you discover it and you go, oh my word. And
They were thinking of doing this.
You better get on with that, in effect. And so to actually tie it into the anniversary this year
I see.
Was all part of it. So as I say, but it was very much... We got on with it quite quickly, like I said last week.
Yeah.
And we got on with it too quickly.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, it's going to come in 2023. And it's like, no, that's not right. I need to land my marketing, in effect. I need to make it feel like an anniversary product. So we sort of made sure that we staggered it a little bit later on.
Yes, okay.
Which was worked in the end.
So is it your job to think about the marketing as well, to lead the marketing?
Quite a bit of it. I mean, we're sort of trying to be quite collaborative with it at the moment as well. But I mean, sort of title head of marketing. It's very much, we're coming up with some ideas. I mean, stuff which I can't talk about yet for various bits and bobs. I mean, we haven't even started on what we're going to do with Thunderbirds yet, because I need to actually put that catalogue together properly to actually physically make a catalogue.
Amazing.
But we're working on the boxes for those right now, and so that is technically a marketing thing. Yeah, it's like, I want to sell you this product. It's in this box. So that's ultimately down to me in some ways.
That's right.
And so they still get all the bits of creativity, and then we're going to be doing some PR stuff for other things as well, which is quite big. And sort of, as I mentioned, Richard Hammond's RS2000, be working with him. So there's all sorts of things like that, which sort of in different places can go in different ways. Go and talk to like Spitfire operators and things like that. And so you go and do some quite sort of creative ideas.
Is there anything that's ever surprised you, taken you by complete surprise, that it was perhaps more wildly popular than you considered?
Well, I'd say with the Anderson stuff, it has really caught us, because I mean, sort of, especially with like the Captain Scarlet. Because that's not new product. We sort of would say, oh, Stingray, that's fair enough. And we sort of, with the Captain Scarlet stuff, we ordered far too few. Right. In some ways, and it came into stock and we sold out within 2 days of it landing. And that was with pre-orders. So literally everything pre-ordered, shipped, including stuff for the Anderson store. And then it's like, it's gone again. And it's like, okay, well, we need to wait to order. Well, not to wait to order it. We ordered it immediately, but we've got to wait for it to come in.
And how long is that?
It can be 6 months.
Right, yeah.
So it's all about... So with the Thunderbird stuff, we're making sure the numbers are much higher.
I see, yeah.
So we'll actually be able to have plenty for everyone that wants it when it comes in.
Great. Good. A few more questions here from our viewers and listeners. Lovely. So let's empty this box. And then maybe that will lead us off into other things.
Grab the lot.
Yeah.
Have I got everything?
One more, I think.
One to go. There you are. Got you.
Perfect.
Right, and that's the one I'll start with.
Okay.
Oh, PJ Harding. Hi, David. What are your favourite Anderson and non-Anderson Corgi models? Well, I mean, favourite Anderson is that Thunderbird 2.
Yeah.
So far. But I mean, I haven't seen the rest yet.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the rest yet. It might change.
Absolutely.
But that, as I say, it came out of the box last week. Amazing. Absolutely fantastic. Non-Anderson, as I say, I might have given it away already. It's this Star Trek model.
Yes.
But I mean, as I say, it's a bit like choosing between your favourite children. I've only got one child as it is, so that's easy in reality. But when it comes to models you come up with, so like we've done the Wallace and Gromit train set from the Wrong Trousers.
Brilliant.
Things like that. Like different aircraft, different cars. Like everything has a story which ends up being personal.
What's been the most difficult and why?
What in terms of a model?
Yeah.
I mean, most challenging, bit aviation nerdy. We went to Normandy and we scanned a B-26 Marauder. So there's only one of this aircraft type outside the United States, and it's in a museum on Utah Beach.
Right.
So we went to Normandy, sort of just at the tail end of the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
And that's where I first caught COVID.
Okay, great.
So that was the most difficult one.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, just actually, making sure things are right as well with models like that. As I said last week, the Anderson stuff can be quite straightforward. Yeah. And certain things like Star Trek can be quite straightforward. It's like, that's the shape of it. Whereas with other models, you have to take into account all these different things. Yeah. And different variations. Yeah. And make sure you're getting it right. Yeah. Because if you don't get it right, people will tell you.
Yes. And how do you take that criticism? Is it?
I mean, it's one of those
live and
things.
Learn?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where it's very much. I want to take it on board. I do take it on board, but you also, in some ways, you do take it personally. Yeah. And you try not to take it personally. Yeah. And I have very much sort of thickened my skin. Yeah. In some ways, to sort of say, because it's like, it's not personal. It's because you've come up with that idea as a collective, as a Corgi collective, and so it's having a go at a group of people, at a group of people.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, oh, they're not actually having a go at you.
That's right.
But it's still sort of the idea that you may have come up with.
Yeah.
And so, it's just one of those where you sort of go, okay. But I always appreciate constructive criticism.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely, rather than just, I hate it.
And we've spoken about that relationship between you and the licensor. Are some of those trickier to deal with than others?
Some definitely are, and I won't name them.
Of course not. No.
But I mean, sort of you know how to deal with certain licensors and sort of what they like and what the right thing to do is. There's always help by style guides, as I mentioned last week.
Yeah.
So if sort of a brand or a licensed property has that, they know what they want it to look like.
Yeah.
So it makes our jobs easier in some ways as well. But it's just actually how you action that.
Yeah.
So as I say, with the Thunderbirds packaging, that's not following a style guide.
Yeah.
So that's going to be
right.
Potentially interesting.
Yes.
But I think it will be sort of really nice in the end as well to actually sort of have something which is its own thing. Because like the James Bond packaging that we do at the moment, they're all in a very sort of gun barrel featured box with the film logo in foil.
Yeah.
And that's very much sort of where we are with the Thunderbird stuff in some ways. See. It's like to have that same feel, and it gives it that premium bump up.
Yes, it really does. That's right.
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
We go Emily Davis. Do you think we could have some Terrahawks Corgi models and Stingray Corgi models? Terrahawks, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's on the list. It's literally like it's literally one of my stock answers, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Stingray, we've done Stingray, but I mean, I want to do Terrorfish.
Yes, of course.
And then it'll be in a similar vein because I mean that was obviously never done with a firing torpedo out the mouth.
Right.
So want to do that.
That'd be
we
incredible.
will come to that.
Yeah,
definitely. I guarantee you, Emily, we will come to that.
Nice.
We will get there. There you go. We will do it.
Great.
Robert M. Cassidy. If licensing were no issue, which TV movie vehicle would you choose for Corgi to produce? Now, we've actually done so many. It's sort of more about the ones which we haven't done.
Yeah.
And so if a license was no big deal, it would be the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, yeah, okay, really?
And a good, really big, sort of decent die-cast Millennium Falcon.
Yes.
Would be something I would want to go after.
But that's not...
Well, I mean, it's one of those business things, and I mean, sort of ultimately, Star Wars. It's like there's quite a lot of it in the marketplace anyway.
Yeah.
So it's ultimately you sort of say, where would our niche be?
Yes, exactly.
And I don't know at this stage, and it's ultimately you sort of say other people have done it really well. So I mean, I'd love to make it. I'd love to see what it would look like, but at the same time, it does already exist. Yeah. So it's quite a challenging one. Yeah. That one in some ways, but one can dream. Paul Hyde. Hi, David. Could we please have a reissue of the Spectrum car that has gold bars inside, please? Now, I think that's the MSV.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which is a dinky model.
Right.
So we don't actually have this tool.
I see.
So because it's dinky, that tooling is long gone somewhere.
Right.
But in effect, we would have to produce a new version of it.
Okay.
To do that, and this is really heavy.
Yeah, it is.
Considering the entire underpan is metal as well as the body. Yeah. That is a heavy old bit of die cast.
Yeah.
So yes, but we would absolutely do our thing on that.
Yeah.
If we came to it. And I mean, we've had quite a few requests already for the MSV, so it makes sense because the SPVs have gone so well. Yeah. So again, on a list. Yeah. I should be wearing a T-shirt saying it, but it's one of those where. We'll probably work our way up to Captain Scarlet's anniversary.
Yes, of course.
For that one.
Great.
Last one.
Good. Okay.
Rich Goodburn. Hi, David. Will we see a Corgi Thunderbird 5? Fireflash and Zero X. Now, I really want to do Fireflash.
Oh, yeah?
It's not on the plan as yet.
Okay.
Neither Zero X, but I mean, both of those are goodies. Thunderbird 5.
Yeah,
I mean, that might sort of lead us into what you might want to talk about anyway.
Well, go on, lead me into it then.
I'll just carry you in. So we're not just reissuing our Thunderbirds 1, 2, 3 and Fab 1, which is existing tooling. We are doing, for the anniversary in 2025, brand new tools of Thunderbird 4 in a larger version. So it'll be like Stingray, the Stingray model.
Yes.
Similar size, similar action features. So again, never done in die-cast. Have firing torpedoes. It'll also have like the little magnet. It probably won't be magnetic. But it'll have a little, when you lift the light bar up, they'll come out.
Lovely.
And there will be Thunderbird 5.
Thunderbird 5.
As I came on and said to Jamie, I want to do Thunderbird 5 in January. We are doing Thunderbird 5.
Well.
I have seen the design of Thunderbird 4. I have not seen Thunderbird 5 yet. That will be coming along as we go. Those won't be for pre-order in January.
Okay, I was going to say, what's the time
It's a
scale?
bit early. The aim for those would be to land them in September for the anniversary.
Sure.
So they'd probably be available for pre-order in September 2025.
Okay.
As well. But
and when will you start getting, the equivalent sort of prototypes across your desk?
So, as I say, Thunderbird 4 is more advanced.
Yeah.
We haven't had the CAD design signed off yet. I haven't officially looked at it to put my 2 pence against it.
Okay.
But it looks good.
Yeah.
Is what we'll say. As we sort of said with these, it's very much like, you look at different versions of it on screen, you sort of see where different doors are, different hatches, different features, the inconsistency. So in some ways, you're sort of building a version of Thunderbird 4 which feels right.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, Star Wars film Rogue One. It's like sort of everything in Rogue One actually looks different from Star Wars.
Yeah.
But it feels right.
Yeah,
it's
that's
actually more
right.
detailed, but it feels right.
That's true.
And that's actually quite a methodology which I try and say we want to bring to our Corgi models for the Anderson stuff. So, so that's looking good. Say Thunderbird 5, I haven't seen it. But in terms of when we would see the samples, we have to go through some boring business bits, in effect, before that. But I would imagine we would see some samples of them around April, May.
Okay, so you'll come back in April, May, and
come back with them then and sort of tout my wares again on there and show you what they look like. But so hopefully about then. But I mean, the really interesting part with these models in particular is when they come in the bare metal. Yeah, that's how we see them first.
Yeah,
completely
course.
Undecorated. So we check the shape. And they actually look really beautiful.
I bet they do.
We have a blog on our website. Corgi.co.uk, Diecast Diaries. And in the most recent edition of that we've put out, we've got the Batmobile, the 1966 Batmobile in the bare metal. And it's one model, it's one of a kind model in effect. It's our engineering sample.
Yeah.
But it is, when you see it, not gloss black, not with all the bits on it. Literally, Batman and Robin is little black figures, black PVC figures. It looks beautiful as bare metal. It's sort of, you never quite expected it to look like that.
Is there any thought given to marketing that version?
Well, that's it. I mean, so it has been done by Corgi in the past.
Right.
Before it was owned by Hornby Hobbies, so certain ones were sort of done as like a completely factory spec versions.
Right.
So it could be something we do in the future.
Yeah.
But if you auction these things for charity or what have you, you'll get quite a lot of money for them, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well,
they're unique.
That'll please a lot of people. Thunderbird 5.
Oh yes, no, that's it. I mean, as I say, I've not seen it yet. It will have the docking ability with Thunderbird 3.
Right.
So as I say, we've retooled Thunderbird 3 to have a new nose cone on it.
Yes.
So it will be able to dock. I don't think it's going to have any other features because you could end up sort of going into spinning tops and all sorts of complexity there. But it will be on a display stand and it will have the, as far as I've briefed it, it will have the full sort of antenna underneath it as well.
Great.
So physically how we do this, I don't know yet. I can't wait to see it.
Exactly. Surprise me. Yeah.
So it will be something worth coming back with. How I carry it in here, I don't know, in my backpack. It'll be interesting. It'll be in a nice box as well. They both will. So everything will be in the box. So you'll have 4 models in effect, or 4 releases in like the small box.
Yeah.
And then Thunderbird 5 will probably be in a larger one.
Yes.
But then everything is designed so they stack. So if you're a collector, let me get my demo box back again.
Yeah.
So everything will be this depth.
Yeah.
Thunderbird 5 will literally just be like 2 of these next to each other.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
So then you can sort of, if you don't want to display them, you can just stack them up, pile them up, and it will look quite nice on a library style shelf to keep the collector mindset happy.
Yeah, incredible. Amazing. Another exclusive. That's fantastic. Anything else you can tell us about other Anderson projects that you're working on or coming up?
As I say, there's nothing else immediately started.
Yeah.
But obviously, we're talking about the list.
Yes, that's right.
There's always a list, and there's always stuff. We know how well this stuff is being received.
Yeah.
So there is obviously
because
stuff we want to do.
Because it sells. That's
it.
That's your ultimate feedback, isn't it?
Straight away. So I mean, stuff like the MSV, stuff like the Terrafish, stuff like Fireball XL5. I want to do the Spectrum helicopter as well. Is what I really want to do now as well. Now I can say that now. I came on with Jamie and said I really want to do Thunderbird 5. Well, doing Thunderbird 5, so I need to think of something else I want to do.
Okay.
Which is always quite interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like it will keep rolling.
Yeah.
It will keep rolling. You'll probably have to have me back, and I'll have to talk about what's next.
We'd love to. That would be fantastic. Because, of course, the first time you spoke to Jamie on the podcast, it was audio only. So
it was audio only, yes. Yeah. No, we did it over Zoom. So, there's probably an unreleased video feed of that somewhere where we were having a good chat with each other. And I was in the boardroom at Margate talking on that.
Of course.
It's lovely to actually come into a studio and talk.
Well, we really appreciate you taking the time and the effort to join us on the podcast. And thank you for your exclusives. They've been absolutely amazing. I know that many people will be looking forward to this and Thunderbird 5 and all the various other products that we've got coming out. So we need to keep our eye out on, you mentioned the website there for Corgi. Just give us a...
Yeah, it's corgi.co.uk. Pre-orders will be available for the first wave of Thunderbird stuff in January. I don't know an exact date yet, but that will be communicated in around Christmas time. Mm-hmm. And so we will sort of then have those up for pre-order, and then after that, the Thunderbird 4 and Thunderbird 5 will be available in September.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for joining us, David. We'll see you again, I'm sure.
Super. Thank you very much, Richard.
Take care. Thanks.
Super.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you to David Mather, firstly, for rescuing us from Chris's appalling singing at the end of the news.
It wasn't appalling. It was just very creative and unusual.
It was. But some great news there from David. Little hints and teasers about things
good stuff
possibly coming up in the future.
Well, probably definitely coming up in the future, but maybe we should say possibly coming up.
If he said so, then it's going to happen.
Exactly. He's the boss after all of whether this stuff happens or not.
Yeah, that's right. Now, next week we are joined by Terry Adam, of course. It's a Merry Terry Christmas all over again.
Wow.
Certainly is.
Earlier every year.
I know, so we're looking forward to that. Should we bring some mince pies?
Oh, yes, please.
Got to happen.
I got some lovely salted caramel mince pies the other day.
Oh!
A little wedge of salted caramel at the top. They were...
don't. Right. Anyway, it's time, I think, talking of salted caramel mince pies, that we welcome in something sweet and tasty and filling and satisfying.
Yes.
The Podsterons have been emailing us at
podcast@gerryanderson.com. And something you can enjoy all year round.
Exactly. It's the Voice of the Podsterons.
Hooray!
Hey!
This is the Voice of the Podsterons.
So firstly, I got an email here from Matt. Matt says, Jamie, Richard and Chris.
That's us.
In Pod 232, you asked if Attack of the Alligators was the only appearance of an exclamation mark in the Animverse titles. Here we go again. The answer is no. The Secret Service episode Mayday, Mayday.
Mayday.
Yep.
Cure Straker
is the only other occurrence of an exclamation mark in the Animverse.
No.
Cure Straker.
That's right.
We had that last time.
It's also the only TV title with a comma in it. Mayday, Mayday.
I thought it was Mayday, exclamation mark, wasn't it?
That's the point, isn't it?
But that's got no comma in it, has it?
No. I think Matt thinks there might be an exclamation
Mayday,
mark.
comma, Mayday, exclamation mark.
Yes.
I have a feeling Play It Again SRAM might have a comma in it.
Play It Again, comma, SRAM.
Anyway.
This is this
whole
punctuation.
I didn't mean to open this particular can of worms. However, the reason I'm reading this email is because Matt goes on to say, I agree with Richard in his assessment from the episode Attack of the Alligators in that it feels a bit slow, and with Chris that it's often a problem due to the length of Thunderbirds episodes. Though with this one, I feel you could do a bit of editing, maybe trimming it to 40 minutes or so. This is my joint 6th highest rated Thunderbirds episode, sharing it with Operation Crash Dive, Terror in New York City and Day of Disaster with a score of 64 out of 100.
Okay.
So,
specific.
Yep.
Terror in
on
New
the
York
pod
City,
scale,
quite low down there.
Yeah, 3.2 on the pod scale. He says, though, for me, no Thunderbirds episode has a score higher than 67
Gosh.
out of 100.
I'd like to see the raw data on this.
Yes,
I know.
That's a complicated criteria.
On a different note, have you thought of doing children's books for the Animverse? Many of us Podsterons have relatives who are still early on their reading journeys and are not able to fully enjoy the books you have published so far. Thanks, Matt.
I can answer that very quickly. We're not allowed to do them. Not within our license. We're
Really?
specifically excluded to tell stories for under 12s, essentially.
What a shame.
Yeah.
That is a shame.
Just how it is.
Yeah. And we have an email here from Hannah for you, Jamie.
Oh, Hannah says, hello, Jamie and Chris and Richard.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Yeah. I don't suppose you know about some TV show called Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds?
Despite my love for it, there is just one problem that I've had with it.
Right.
I always felt a bit disappointed that there was no episode that mainly focused on Virgil. Like how The Uninvited was focused on Scott, and even Operation Crash Dive felt like it was kind of Gordon's episode. Even though there were a few sketches from the comics I collected that did feel very Virgil-based, I still believe that he deserved to have his own episode. I also still believe in the same thing for John Tracy too.
Oh.
I've got nothing against the other characters.
Good.
I love them just as much. It's just something I would have loved to have seen on screen. After what you've done for Stingray this year, is there any possibility that could happen in the future for Virgil? I would be very happy.
Right.
Yours truly, FAB, and have a Merry Christmas, or even a Terry Christmas from Hannah.
That's the first one. That's the first one I have.
Yes, it is.
A Merry
Thank you
Christmas.
very much
Thank
for
you,
your-
Hannah. Merry Christmas to you
For
too.
your Terry Christmas.
Yes.
Yes, Hannah, it's possible that there could be something Virgil focused as part of things for next
he's
year.
part of the podcast every
He's
week.
always in the podcast, yeah.
True.
Yes, it's funny, isn't it? Because I always think, I guess Virgil's such a big part of most episodes.
Yeah.
Does he need his own one?
I mean, I kind of think Terror in New York City, and then I think, oh no, he crashes and he's injured and he's in bed for most of it. But yeah, I think he deserves a bit of time in the spotlight.
We will put it under consideration, Hannah.
Can I ask, it's been the 60th anniversary year, as we know, of Stingray, and this whole sprawling Deadly Uprising epic story has been told. Are plans afoot for something similar for Thunderbird's 60th?
I mean, it would be weird if we didn't do something, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I see.
There you go.
Fair enough.
There's your answer.
Okay.
That's what we're getting.
And I've got one from Philip Beeman, or Beamon.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I apologise if I've got it wrong. Has anyone been watching Rivals on Disney+? Why am I posting this on an Anderson group? In the last episode, there's a radio announcer that sounds suspiciously like Captain Scarlet himself, Wayne Forrester. Can anyone else validate my geeky ears?
Oh.
Well, I don't know, because I've never heard of Rivals.
Oh, well, Rivals is the
But
new...
Wayne is in the podcast group, I believe.
Yes.
So he might be able to tell us. I mean, I do hear his voice popping up in places. I was watching
I'll message him.
Yeah, go on.
Are you in
There
Rivals?
was a Peppa Pig web series I was watching with my nieces the other week, and I thought, that's Wayne's voice. That can't be
Really?
Wayne's voice.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and it was.
Ah.
So, yeah, he crops up all sorts of places.
He is a very busy man and a very useful man as well, isn't he?
Yes.
He can do anything, really, vocally. He's extraordinary. Great talent. Well, Rivals is the new Disney Plus Jilly Cooper adaptation. David Tennant, I think, and Aidan Turner, and a bit of a kind of a... I think they used to call them Bonkbusters back in the day.
Bonkbusters.
Yeah. So it's just the sort of thing Wayne Forrester would be involved in.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
definitely. Yeah.
Right, well, I've asked him.
Okay.
Maybe if he is quick to respond, we'll find out by the end of this episode.
Excellent, yeah, good. In the meantime, keep your emails coming in, podcast@gerryanderson.com, or even your physical letters at the Moxie in Slough, because we love to read your letters.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll get a Christmas card or two.
That'd be nice. But yeah, do send them to the Moxie, Slough, William Street, SL1 1GZ.
Yeah, we could display them here or stick them. If we get any Christmas cards, we'll put them around the screen for our Christmas
It'd be awkward
episodes.
if we don't.
And also, like I say, it's 2 days from now that we're filming our Christmas episodes, so they've got to be quick.
Yeah. Hurry up!
Otherwise, we'll be displaying them after Christmas.
First class signed for, expedited,
Or just
next day
we can put that
delivery
on
or
next
something.
Christmas. Yeah, we'll do.
There we go. Now, we've had the Voice of the Podsterons. We've had David Mather. There's only one thing left for him to press the big red button, see what we get on the randomiser.
Yay! And it won't be Crossroads To Crime.
it won't,
Best
'cause
news
that's
this
done.
year.
Over to you, David.
Ready, guys? 3, 2, 1.
Thank you very much, David.
Oh, it's feeding through.
Yes, we're going through the Super Mario stuff. Past Space 1999 and so on.
Oh,
Well, this will please you, Jamie.
Terrorhawks.
I'm so much more pleased.
Look
with
at him.
last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Jamie,
Good
tell us
stuff.
why you love Terrorhawks in 5 seconds or less.
It's funny, self-aware, it's great. Zeroids.
It's so much better job than you. I know. Yeah. We're watching Play It Against SRAM.
We are.
Can
Tell
you-
us about Play It Against SRAM in 5 seconds or less.
I won't know until we watch it, Chris.
There. Well,
Shall we?
boots on the other foot now.
Specs off.
Specs on.
On.
Well, you're in your happy place, aren't you?
Now, last time we watched Terrorhawks together, it was To Catch a Tiger. And you weren't all that keen on Terrorhawks.
No, you didn't like it.
You didn't like
You
it.
moaned, didn't you?
Yeah. You
You
thought
might-
it was
you might
weird.
like
All I can say, it's not my bag. That's okay.
Wow.
I loved Crossroads to Crime.
Crossroads To Crime.
Yeah.
I love Space 1999.
Let's see what he gives Terrorhawks.
I
Yes.
love Lavender Castle. I
Yeah.
love quite a lot of stuff.
I love Space Precinct.
Yeah, I love quite a lot of stuff. Terrorhawks. Well, we'll see.
Space Precinct is the same score as Crossroads To Crime in
Yes.
Richard's book. Bloody hell.
I think you're in for a... Well, I was going to say a pleasant surprise. You're in for a surprise with this one.
Okay,
Yes.
great, good.
It's very unusual.
I always go into things with an open mind, you know
Good.
that.
Yeah.
We'll see about that.
How long is it?
About 23 minutes. We'll be fine. Such a great theme.
Quite a long opening title sequence.
Yeah, but really exciting and beautiful animation.
Yeah.
Isn't it, Richard?
Yes. All right. Okay.
That's
Beautifully done. It's already funky.
There's a comma. There is that
There we go.
comma.
There's the comma.
Yeah.
It's very
we have a
Kansas
comma.
City, isn't it, so far?
Yeah.
I like this. It's minimal. Well, not. I don't want to say minimal because I couldn't build this, but it is. You're getting a lot out of a very small budget for this show.
Sure.
In the World Song Contest.
Because halfway through the series, they started to put in cities like this, and it was a lot of lights and towers and
It's
things.
going to be Kate Kester, isn't it?
Long Nights with You, performed by the talented Miss Herber Olsen.
Nice.
Outback Blues, sung by the Aussie answer to the energy gap, Rod Stallworth.
Stalwart.
I see. Yeah, I see. Rod Stewart, yeah.
Katrina by that terrific trio, K, G, and B.
KG and B. Very good.
The beautiful Miss Kate Kestrel with SOS Mr. Tracy.
God, we're not going to get a song, are we?
Oh, you're
terrible.
in for a treat,
Yes.
mate. Squire.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
I like his brains glass
Flaming thunderbolts. Get on with the
and the massive bow tie.
clowns.
Why is there no French song?
Because, Dick Hewitt, it was no good. On you, Wales should have swept the board.
Keep it down, you two. They're gonna start the vote.
Yeah, I like how the Terrorhawk uniforms hide the neck joint, but when they're in civvy gear, they have to have scarves and things. High collars.
Contest coming to you live from fabulous TV City.
The scores are North 31, South 10, East 25, and West 24.
And it's North taking an early lead,
I
but there's
can't
a
take
long way
much
to go
more
yet.
of this kind of tension.
It is very tense.
It is, yeah.
Another vote for North.
Not as tense as Crossroads to Crime.
No, admittedly.
It's rigged. Rigged!
But strange that the commander of Earth Defence Force can't take the tension of the voting of the World Song Contest.
Every Saturday night when Pop Idol or whatever, he's like just biting his nails.
Absolutely nothing in it.
The scores are now North 49,
It's pretty much neck and neck, isn't
Yeah.
50,
Go,
and West
go,
51.
go!
Come on, Kate. The scores are now North 87,
it? Oh, it's close, isn't it?
East 76,
Roll on,
and West
SOS Mr.
131.
Tracy.
This is incredible. I can't believe it. It is a tie with South 131 and West 131.
How are they going to tie break this?
Ladies and gentlemen, the
Fight to the
deciding
death.
vote is coming through right now.
Oh, it's not a tie then. There's still one more vote to come.
And there it is. The World Song Contest has a winner.
Phew.
What are the chances it was one of the main characters?
Yes. Clearly unlikely that would have
I
happened.
I don't know how they've created that effect of the sort of teeming audience.
Yeah.
It's kind of just about teeming.
Classic song, though.
Gorgeous, yes. Which we heard at the concert.
We did. Beautifully done at the concert.
Newsy, 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 newsy,
Newsy news.
That was what I was doing earlier.
What are you doing?
She won. I knew she would.
I love that young star had faith in Kate as well, even though they're enemies. It's like, yeah, she's got a really good voice. She's going to win. I was voting for her.
Yeah, but we could do with more of that in the world.
Yeah.
You know, don't be so polarised. You can appreciate
Yeah.
people's
True
good
enough.
points.
It's quite topical, yeah.
Yeah. Well done, Terrorhawks.
Yeah.
For unifying the world.
Progressive.
Oh, Mother, tell me all about it. Come, sit upon my knee, sonny boy. Yes, Mother.
Would have been awkward to puppeteer that bit, so I'm glad they cut away.
Yeah.
That yellow truck parked by the side of the road there is marked TB7. And
Yeah.
it turns up in a couple of episodes.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's in Space Police as well.
Can't be true, you're kidding. I mean, unpretentious little moi. You're winding me up, Miss Kestrel.
I'm telling you the truth.
Really? I mean, Well, that's that's amazing. Like,
Just noticed Stu wearing a CB badge.
Yes, it's got nice. I still say we could do a full set of badges, Stu badges, replica at the store.
Stuart Apples, right? Okay, that's me, Mr. Producer. Yeah, okay, that's me. I have been chosen, like, in person. That is, like, that's me. I've been chosen to wait for it. To compare the Interstellar Song Contest.
There must be so much ad-libbing from Robbie doing that, and then the poor puppeteer's got to animate that kind of really staccato delivery, unscripted.
And you look at the script in some of Stu's early appearances, in particular. There's just I've got to do this, and I am now doing this thing. And there's nothing, and you hear the performance, and Robbie is just it's all over the place. It's great.
Yeah. Wild song contest.
So here comes Plan A.
Yes, indeed. Her song against ours.
But we don't have a song.
Come forward, my lord Wolfgang. Mind, master of infinite.
The best bit of this is Richard's face.
Assumed the role of the great musician Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
You see, so their master of infinite disguise disguised himself as Mozart in order to compose the best tune in the universe. Example of how good he is.
And Zelda's loving it. She's like dancing around.
Okay.
I don't know what instrument that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well, I'd vote for it.
Yeah.
It's utterly useless. Perhaps it was a mistake.
Yes. Moid might have done better if he had been Liszt.
One of my favourite memories of this episode actually is when the original DVDs came out, we did a documentary for them. And we had all of the cast bar Windsor. And in order to sort of warm them up and get their memories going, we played them this episode.
Yeah.
And every time either Robbie or Jeremy's voice came on, each would turn to the other and go, that's you, that's you. They were having a great time. Yeah.
All right. We take Zelda on. Where? We must try to avoid any kind of publicity. There's a remote asteroid, Yazgur.
Yazgur.
Neutral zone. Zelda has agreed. The competition will be held there.
They're having a song competition?
Yes.
Yes. The whoever wins the world song competition goes on to the interstellar competition, which implies there's all sorts of intergalactic civilizations that we don't really know or meet in the show.
And we don't talk about at all.
No.
He's with Kate in the recreation area.
What's our cover story?
He thinks he's aboard a military starship.
And that's the way we'll play it.
Which is good, because that's the way it is.
Yes.
So it works out. Yeah.
Assembled.
No lies required.
Spaceborne, mother. Then prepare for liftoff.
Nice. Richard Harvey's lovely, oily, evil music.
Oh, there's the hub ship.
What a lovely underside.
Yeah.
It's not a compliment I hand out lightly, you know.
Very good, mother. It could win. I need to be certain of victory. That is why I have brought along some insurance.
Insurance?
Oh.
Yes. A demon of the drums.
Here he comes.
Who's this then?
Trying to fit that massive head through the door.
Ram.
Par excellence. He has been known to bring the house down. No, Sram, not yet. Save your thunder for the accursed Terrorhawks.
Oh, the drool hanging off the chin there. I love as well the idea that one of the villains has a hobby. He's playing the drums in his downtime.
Right, yes.
Because there's a lot of downtime at Zelda's complex.
Comparing the interstellar song contest, yeah? I mean, what's going on?
Welcome to the starship Centauris. I'm Captain Burke.
Oh, yeah, well,
Yeah? You see what they did there?
Right.
Where's this, where does the contest take place then?
I don't get that.
No. By the way, it was Wayne
Oh, yeah, right, a mining complex.
in Rivals.
Okay.
On the ground, you mean?
Don't worry, we've brought all the necessary equipment, lights and things.
Yeah, but Captain.
A microphone or two.
The complex now, Doctor. I mean, Captain.
Dr. Captain.
Why are they bothering with this colour?
I know, Hero is such a pro, isn't he?
Zelda's already arrived.
There's a joke coming up here that I only recently got.
We can't perform in here. It's a cavern. Even the best groups have to start.
That went completely over my head until relatively recently. Yeah.
Nice.
See,
It's funny, isn't it?
Funny?
Yes.
I really like the lighting in this. The sense of the cavern. I can't believe you're such a Terrorhawks phobe.
We'll bring you around, don't worry.
So
Are you and your men
disappointed.
ready, Zero?
Oh, yes, sir. We're straining like greyhounds in the slips.
He's getting worse. Let's go.
Nice.
All right, Zero. When you've set up all the equipment, you know what to do.
So,
I love how Kate is sort of relatively off screen for most of this, which is odd.
Well, she's got to prepare her. She's doing a warm-up. Nobody wants to see her just doing
Choosing
this
her
little
wig.
Yeah. And all that, does she? Do you want to see that? Or do you want to see that?
No, I know. I really don't want to see that. No.
We meet once more, clone.
I wish I could say it was a pleasure. Are you ready, android?
I am ready. But where is your despicable songstress?
She'll be here. Go and do your worst. The stage is ready.
My worst! I will! I certainly will!
He looks how I feel.
Stage lights. Running.
Oh, yeah. Are we running?
Yeah, I think I've said this about Terrorhawks before. I sometimes feel that the show was made for the amusement purely of the people who were making it. I felt that when we were doing it, actually. Sometimes we were just amusing ourselves.
Oh, yeah, completely.
Yeah, that's really charming. I mean, come on. I mean, imagine if we'd been going out live, man, you know?
Get on with it, you cretin!
Get on with it. Yeah, okay, right, okay, going. Yeah, right, starting.
I think we found a new podcast co-host.
That would work.
Presenting Zelda and the Musoids.
Introduce us.
Okay, yeah, right, okay, introducing. Right, here we go.
Like a little chin thing.
On synthesizer, we have, Sister. Okay, wonderful, yeah. And on bass, we have Youngster.
That's me. That's me.
They've put a lot into this plan, and they've all got a part in it. It's lovely.
What is the plan?
Kill the Terrorhawks.
Yeah. By tempting them into this face-off to get the solar system champion done, and then
because his roar can bring down mountains.
Yes, I see. Yes.
All while having fun and amusing viewers along the way.
Quite so. Yes. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
By the Musoids.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. Right, and Zelda and the Musoids.
Nice.
You were right, Mary. Zelda's full of tricks.
Who could have seen that coming?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Greetings, Earthlings. I am Zelda.
This is Denise's peak performance.
Yeah.
Well, everybody know that she's that bad, wicked, cruel, vicious.
I love the puppeteering on this as well.
Who's the worst?
I'm the worst. Everybody knows that I'm the worst and the meanest queen that's ever been. But if I tried, I could be worse.
you say? You said, I hope we get a musical number. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
I'm pretty sure
you
you
did
said
say that, yes.
You drooling half-wit.
Who's the hag with the evil teeth? Ugly, bad, and very mean.
I'm the hag. I think you mean I'm lovely, bad, and really mean.
Shoot, trick, and cheat, and tell you lies.
My evil eye will hypnotize.
So good.
I'll blow you all to smithereens.
Back to the left. Everybody move to the velvet left. Back to the left.
Is this changing your life for the better?
Oh, yeah, big time. Yeah, for sure.
rap.
Never look at the world in the same way.
Everybody move to the velvet.
So did you not know that Denise Pryor had done a sci-fi rap?
No.
Yeah. I think she did say it was her career highlight, so...
They're not bad.
I've heard worse.
And now,
It's brilliant.
Miss Kate Castro!
Yeah.
Kate's about to sing. Are you in position, Zero?
We is ready, sir.
And then we get the full run-through of
Oh, yeah?
SOS Mr. Tracy.
The whole thing.
Well,
Yeah.
a good chunk of it, I think.
Yeah.
No explanation within the universe of why they've done a song about Thunderbirds.
Yes.
No one ever mentions the show.
No.
And as the final day begins,
Cracking song, though.
still the feeling goes.
Don't worry, there's more.
We have a contact.
Identify.
Uh-oh, a couple of naughty Zeefs. Zeefies.
Intruders are alien. 2 Z's.
What is Zelda up to?
What is the plan?
Mr. Tracy, the western world is falling.
It's clearly the better song, as much as I love the Zelda rap.
Of course it is, yeah.
Yeah. Particularly ugly shot of Einstein there.
We shall see.
The clone is right, Mother. This song is much better than ours.
They've really got nothing to be ashamed of. They did a jolly good job on this. Yeah, they didn't go halves on it.
I wonder if this might have been the inspiration for that Father Ted episode where they did My Lovely Horse at the Eurovision Song Contest. I'm going to try and find out that for next time.
Mr. Tracy, the western world is falling.
I love also its
face. You just did the Zelda grimace then. Someone puppeteered your mouth into it.
I love with this, it's the Western world that's falling.
Yes, I noticed that.
Everyone else can just fend for
That's
themselves.
all right, actually. Yeah. Oh no! It seems like a weird plan, though, doesn't it? When Zelda's in there with Shram, but you know.
Yeah. But she's going to use her powers to teleport them away. I think that's what she said.
What was that, Captain Burke?
We'll take care of it.
Locked onto targets.
Fire.
Should have blown up beforehand.
Yeah.
Come on, hero. Seeing as it was so easy to do that, that was a nice explosion.
We've destroyed your Zeef, Zelda. You've lost. The song contest and the fight.
Not yet, clone. Play it, Shram.
Hey.
He looks so happy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Doing his
having
hobby.
fun.
Uh-oh. I mean, he could have just roared.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
So he's playing the drums so loud that...
Yes.
He's been practicing.
Yeah.
All right, lads. Attach yourselves. Move it. Let's be out of here. I suggest you get inside the container, Mark.
Right, Zero.
Let's get out of here.
Okay, right, yeah, I mean, yes.
Let's move it. Let's go.
So roll on.
They knew this might happen.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we bring our shipping container.
Terrorhawks are getting away.
Oh, who saw that one coming?
What has happened to Shram?
Broke his drums.
Play it for me.
Too little, too late.
Oh dear. Don't know what Sister on the Cubes were up to during all that. Oh no.
Use your power. Save us, Mother. Save us.
We should stop Tram screaming now.
Oh,
no, I can't do that. So Zelda has the power to teleport them around. Right?
I
So
see.
she used that to get them out.
Touch.
How is it, youngster?
Busted. Broken. Finished.
Youngster could lose his nose, Zelda.
Serves him right.
But how would he smell?
The same way he does now. Utterly disgusting. I've always said old jokes are the best.
I'm looking forward to Terry Christmas.
Well, there we are.
Oh.
That rocketed by because it's fun, self-aware, doesn't take itself too seriously, and isn't a boring load of old bargain basement rubbish like last week. Don't you think, Chris?
I thoroughly enjoyed that
Exactly.
one. I always look forward to seeing that one come up.
Yeah.
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 Great.
Yeah. Richard,
What?
you look a bit shell-shocked.
What?
How was that, Richard, for you?
Well, I mean, I don't want to be a downer.
No, be a downer. Go on,
I
we're used to it
suspect,
now.
I think I know what it is.
All right.
I suspect if you don't come across Terrorhawks when you're young and it grabs you, I suspect it's quite difficult to feel engaged as an adult coming at it without the nostalgia or...
Yeah.
Because that's how I feel. I feel quite removed from it. It's odd. Because I can see the love you have for it, absolutely. And I can't get that at all.
Interesting.
It's just strange,
I
isn't
wonder
it?
what makes it impenetrable for you when you were able to be absorbed by Crossroads To Crime of all things.
Well, yeah.
Have you considered that the problem is you?
I think, that could be the thing, you see.
Problem is me.
Yeah.
Yeah, really interesting. I mean, I can appreciate this. The vocal performances are fun and great, very clever.
Yeah.
The puppetry, the puppets is, we all know about the puppets. I'm not sure about those. It's too light for me. I think it's too silly. It's too silly.
Well,
gosh, okay.
I know.
You prefer serious grim crime
Well,
drama.
I'm kind of an actor. That's what I'm looking for, the drama everywhere. So that's what I like. So let's have marks out of 5, shall we, Chris?
Well,
what do you think?
I'm going the full 5.
Oh,
yeah.
You mean it's never going to get better than that?
In terms of Terrorhawks
Terrorhawks,
episodes,
yeah.
I'm just relative to other Terrorhawks episodes,
yeah.
and that is one of my favourites.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it may not be technically the best,
Yeah.
but it's the most entertaining. And
A full 5.
Wow.
I mean, Jamie, you're going to aim high as well, are you? I guess.
I'm going to take the 4 that I didn't use from Crossroads last
Yeah.
time and add it to 9 out of 5. No, I really do enjoy that. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5, which is a really solid thing. I think it's the same as I gave Attack the Alligators. So for me, they're up there with each other.
Yeah.
In completely different ways.
Yeah,
But
of
there's
course.
just so much silly fun in there. I really like it.
Yeah. Great. Well, join us next week for...
Come on,
What?
Vegas
Yeah.
Law.
All right. Okay,
Vegas
I gave
Law.
Attack of the Alligators 3. Some people agreed with me.
Yes.
Some people didn't.
Yeah.
I gave Crossroads To Crime a 4. I did enjoy it. I
Yes,
did.
bizarre.
So, I've got to place this somewhere in there.
Get
haven't
on
I?
with it.
It's not... I'm going to say 2.
No,
Yeah.
You could have been less generous, I suppose.
I could have been less generous. Just because it didn't move me in any way,
That's
because it's
fine.
just not my bag.
It's 11 out of 15. That's done pretty well.
It's all right, isn't it? Yeah. Viewers and listeners, Podsterons at home, what do you think? Where would you place Play It Against Ram from Terrorhawks? What would you give it? 5, 2, 3? Would you agree with Jamie and Chris? Or perhaps it doesn't float your boat. And that's fine too. We
Yes,
know that.
absolutely.
We say it every week.
A lot of controversy coming from this corner recently.
He's troublesome,
I'm
isn't he?
speaking my brains. Join us next week for more, though. We'll have another episode of the Randomiser. Who knows what it might be? Something Christmassy, perhaps. Does the
There isn't
Randomiser
much
know about Christmas?
There's not much left anyway, so
much
if there was.
Christmas
No,
related stuff.
that's right. We'll see. Join us next week for more Randomiser, more our special guest, Terry Edlam.
Terry
And,
Christmas.
yes.
Well, he's our guest.
Yeah.
There might be maybe Christmas surprises.
Might there?
Are there?
What have you got planned?
Well, I'm thinking in terms of other people.
Might there?
Are there?
That was my understanding.
Oh, I don't know who he's thinking about. Well,
Okay.
won't we?
Okay.
Join us and find out.
Or I've messed up and I don't know what's going on.
See you next week. Bye.
This is Christmas Control. Stand by. Let's go.
Spectrum is green.
The Gerry Anderson Podcast with Jamie Anderson and Richard James.
So, I hear Richard didn't enjoy Terrorhawks.
I strongly suggest, Zelda, that you destroy him.
I will, Earth scum.
Are you going to give us a song?
How was that?
That was amazing. See, you got into it then,
Have
didn't
I
you?
redeemed myself?
Maybe.
A little bit, yeah.
That was an Anderson Entertainment production.